All right, brother, let me be straight with you. Lust makes you ugly. Lust makes you look weak as fuck. Now, you might say to yourself, but bro, it's just a harmless sin. Nobody's involved. Bro, your self-esteem is involved. Women can tell that you're lustful. Men can tell that you're lustful. And trust me, over time, any respect they have for you slowly chippens away because it shows in your results. Harsh truth. And I'm telling you, what lust does to you deep down, what the real problems are. And because I'm your elder brother, I'll tell you how to fix it. If you stay to the very end, I have a bonus for you. I can always do. So first things first, what does lust do to you, right? Let's start with the fact that it makes you like a mental slave where your mind is corrupted 100%, right? Where your thought processes, in your mind, they are your thoughts, but in reality, you are a slave to them, right? You can't even go 24 hours without thinking about women, without thinking about something sexual. Again, it makes you impulsive. See this thing, right? If you go to the gym, right, 4 times a week, for 6 months, it will show in your results, even though it was just 3 times a week. But don't you think if you lost for what, three times a week, people won't know? They would know through your actions, man. They will know through your results. When you're talking to a woman, right, and your eyes are constantly bouncing around her body, she can tell. And trust me, it's a very huge turn off, right? The only women I say, no, it's not a problem, I like to be sexualized, these are women you cannot wife up. These are women that are down to manipulate you. They feel like, you know what, they are hoes already, right? They are hoes, and they feel like, okay, let me bag this guy. So guess what? They tell you things that you want to hear. Please, one rule when it comes to women is never ever listen to the thing that she tells you, right? Again, so now next is, to you, women become objects. Like I said, you're probably watching all of these videos excessively, right? You are watching these videos excessively. At this moment, right, when you look at a girl, when you approach a girl, she can sense that you are there strictly for what? The sexual aspect, right? To be very frank, if you learn game, which we'll talk about in another video, there are women who know, right, already that you're there for sex. But when you make it look like, oh, you're drilling over it, it makes you look like a fool, right? It makes you look like, nah. And that will gives you an energy of desperation, which women don't even like. So again, it shows that you lack discipline. It shows that your desires control you, your passions control you. I think it was Epictetus, this stoic guy, that says that if you do not control your passions are going to control you. Now you know that, okay, fine. This is what it does to you. So what's the real problem? One, yes, it makes you less masculine. Now see this way, right? See this way. You have two options. It's either you are led by your urges, or you lead your urges. You're a man who is decisive. When you're lustful, this is what women really see. When you're lustful, they see a man who does not think very well. You might say, when you are lustful, women are saying that this guy does not really think very, very well. And if she does not trust your judgment, bro, she's not going with you. That's why I'm telling you that. Fuck what these women are saying, right? Go for the women that want you. Because if a woman wants you, she has seen qualities in you already. But if a woman does not want you, she has obviously seen those qualities in you also. So when you lust, it makes you less masculine because it shows that you don't have proper judgment. You see, if you pay attention to women, pay attention, because by the way, if you're probably lost, there's a high chance you don't really talk to women that much in real life. But if you're talking to women, one thing you would realize is, when women say they can't take a woman's lead, is because they don't trust your logic, you don't trust your judgment. If you're a guy who is out there doing things for himself, thinking with his head, not with his lower part of his body, trust me, women will follow your lead, because that is more masculine. It's a masculine thing for you to think with logic, for you to control your emotions. It is a feminine thing for you to give into your emotions. And trust me, women connect to you when you are your masculine. So what that means is, you've all heard that the more masculine you are, the more feminine woman you attract. It is just basic logic, because that is attraction there, right? To be very, very frank, if you have ever met babes that are masculine, at first they might be interesting for the bedroom, but to be very, very honest, at the back of your head, you'll be like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck am I doing? It feels like you're banging your bro, right? So two is weakness, right? Because you are giving into your emotions, right? She can smell it over your body that. And one thing women know, right? To be very, very frank, no matter how attractive she is, women are much more aware that other women are more attractive than them, even though that may not be the case. Trust me, you can be with a 9 or a 10, right? And she just sees a lady with a 7 with a way better body, not with a better face, but with a way better body, and she's obsessed about that body. What that means is that to her, she kind of feels incomplete, right? And when she feels incomplete, and she's seeing you drooling over her incompleteness. Now, to be very, very frank, a lot of women think that they're incomplete, and now she feels like she's not there yet. And you, as a man, you are drooling over her. What does that tell you? What do you think that tells her in her head? But bro, you're needy, you're desperate. And one law about life, even if you don't take anything from this video, one thing you should take from this video is anytime you show that you are needy or you are desperate, guess what happens? You never get that thing. Take it from me anywhere. When you're needy, banks don't give you money. When you're needy, women don't want to date you. So don't lie to yourself. Never be needy, never be desperate, right? Again, lust makes you exude all of these traits. Also, men are falling because of lust. And so there's a story I read online on X, right? This girl was talking about how, women like all these, they like all these things, right? All these gestures lustful men throw at them. But they will never want to husband you up. They'll never want to really, really get married. So they like the habit. And let me tell you why. Because I was hanging out with one of these girls, right? And she spoke about how we were reading the story of the lady who a man bought an iPhone 16 Pro after 2 days of meeting her, right? Again, is low self-esteem. And then we're reading it together, and she says that often a lot of guys, right, with low self-esteem that simp for her, they buy her gifts, they won't pay her money sometimes for like normal face-to-face calls. And then I was like, okay, for a test. Okay, so why did you break up with him? Why didn't you marry him? She said, oh no, she could not have dated him in the first place. Because the reason is that if a better woman comes into the picture, she's gone. She's fucked. That's exactly how some women that think actually. You get the point. So again, so this next line is that men have fallen. You see a lot of men, right, who have built big companies like multinationals. They build large corporations, they have discipline, but all of a sudden, for some weird reasons, right, you get to see that the company that they built or the empire they built just fell down, just crumbled. Sometimes it could be a divorce, sometimes it could just be a situation where she got the guy hooked, she manipulated the guy, and all of a sudden, his results began to fail. He began to crash in his business, and also, trust me, men have fallen, right? Even King Solomon, but that's a different day, because if I bring up that topic today, it will be a different problem. So it damages relationships, right? Remember when this girl said that she knows that if another girl comes into the picture when they are dating, it's a problem for her. That's the smart woman there, because trust me, it is an actual problem. Because whether you like it or not, women that are smart, they know the woman that you want is not an idiot. The woman you want is very smart. She knows that if she is with you, and a woman she knows that she manages to be with you, it's obvious that you are there for her body. What happens when the body fades away? Because women know that their body is going to fade away. They might lie to you externally, but women know this. If you hang around them, right, for a while, you can hear them talk about how they'll lose their body in their 30s, in their 40s, right? Even though some of them, when I say they might use the gym, most of them don't go to the gym, right? So they know that if you are there for their body, right? If you see them more as a body than less than a soul, if you see them more as an object and less than a human being, then bro, there's no hope for them anymore. It feels like this guy, he's not here, he's not serious. Next one now is it chips away from your self-esteem. And if you're talking to a woman, right, like I said, this ties into your masculinity, right? If you're talking to a woman, right, and she can smell that this guy is not it, trust me, they can smell it, right? Again, with the way your eyes are bouncing around, with the way you are talking, with the way you are trying to get to know her first, even if you're trying to like fuck her, act like you basically don't need that sex. If you look at it right, when it comes to flirting, you're giving up the sexual signs, but you're not doing it in a needy way. You're doing it in a way that, bro, I'm just playing here. If he happens to come, yeah, he comes. But guess what? You're still going to have that self-esteem, right? And self-esteem is a problem if you're lost. Now, how can you fix it? Your first step is you have to be real. Because there'll be a lot of excuses in your head saying, bruv, stop capping, man. Lost ain't that bad. That's what your mind is telling you. But bruv, trust me, it is that fucked up. It is that bad. So be real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself, right? And you see, then, if you really want to break it now, we have detected that, yes, this is a real problem. Okay, Stone, I've heard it's a real problem. The reason you have to know that it's a real problem is that in your mind, if you still have these ideas of, it's harmless, nobody's really affected. I can watch some videos, I can simp for this woman, I can go and roll some dice, nobody's affected, right? It's my body, right? Those little excuses keep you stuck. What I mean is, if you don't get rid of those excuses, there is nothing. Your entire, 13 minutes in this video is completely wasted. Two, you need to desexualize your mind. You see, so one thing you have to realize is, all of these desires, they come through your environment, your physical and your digital environment. So physical environment is, a typical example now is, almost every gym these days you go to, the women are dressed in a very, very sexual manner. Now, that's not your business, right? What that means is, control yourself. If you're somebody at the beginning of your desexualizing your mind journey, which I've made a full video on, one thing you should do is go to the gym when the gym is almost empty. Sometimes I go to the gym by 6, by 3 p.m. Those times, by the way, I go there because of the equipment. The gym is probably rowdy and at other times. But your physical environment, right? If it's the gym you go to that triggers you, become aware of what triggers you. If it's your digital environment, right? Unfollow all of those Instagram models. Unfollow them. Unfollow Instagram models. Unfollow, block any dirty sites. Don't even go there in the first place. If you have any place you go to that triggers your thought process, ignore it completely. And now, one thing you have to realize is, even social media has come to realize that this is a very big problem. Now, every single social media has added a feature that says you are not interested. Then use that feature. If you can't use that feature, it means that you are somewhat interested. And what you can do when it comes to your social media environment is start searching for things that you are truly interested in. If you go to my explore pages, what you see is MMA, what you see is boxing, entrepreneurs, because these are things that I actively search for. And again, they give to you what you already know. So you cannot say social media is suggesting this content to you when you don't want them. No, a part of you wants them. So you have to get rid of the lies, have a strong why, and not try to change your environment. When it comes to desexualizing your mind, again, starving your eyes, right? The whole idea is, the less of these things you see, the better for you. At the initial stage, if possible, barely go at the initial stage, right? When you start this journey of desexualizing your brain, it's best you don't even really go out that much. It's best you don't even scroll that much. So what should you do? Start something that is bigger than you, right? You can start having a very, very deep goal. It could be a business. It could be freelancing. I don't know your stage, but you can always talk to me. Maybe hit me up in other platforms or something, or in the comment section. Now start seeing women as people. You see, when you see women as objects, guess what happens? Your lust never ends. Your loss never ends. And that reminds me, I was supposed to speak about something, right? How all these lustful activities, they spiral out of control. Now, let me just pause it here for a bit. So someday you're with your phone, right? Or maybe somebody sends you a suggestive content. And you see, and you begin to lust over maybe a graphic content, an extra graphic content. To you, it's a very, very small problem, right? The problem here now is that at first, you start by rolling your dice once a day, maybe once a week. A few weeks later, you're doing it twice a week, right? 3 weeks later, you're doing it once a day. And for you're doing multiple times a day. Now, the problem now is that every single time you feel that urge, or you feel the discomfort, you run to those gadgets. Now that is where the problem begins. That's when you begin to have a problem, where any single time is a level of discomfort, right? What happens is you already feel that urge. By the way, I'm part of a community helping other men to precisely defeat lust. Mind you, it's a free community, right? To precisely defeat lust, you should also access to this community because it is not my community yet. Somebody reached out to me on X, and I figured that, no, on TikTok, I figured that he'd like me to once in a while drop in for the boys, assist them with getting rid of his lust, and then they can begin to attract quality partners. So back to it is now. 3, transmutate your energy. Now, a book that has really changed my life is Think and Grow Rich, right? 1, Think and Grow Rich. 2, Outwitting the Devil by these 2 books by Napoleon Hill. And it basically talks about how the most successful men, the 1% of the 1%, these guys, they are all transmuting their energy into things that are worth it to them. These guys are out there, instead of them spilling out that sexual energy, they've come to realize that No, this energy is powerful enough. Now, let me tell you something that changed my mind drastically about lust, about spilling your seed. I think it was Sadhguru. Sadhguru is he's this yoga instructor, YouTube celebrity influencer, whatever you want to call him. He made a statement. He says that, bro, did you realize that a drop, not even a drop, less than a drop of your sperm is 50% of what it takes to make a full human being. At that moment, it dawned on me that, fuck, and we are here wasting thousands, thousands of drops. But it says a percentage, a fraction of a drop is all that is needed. It's 50% of the ingredients to create a full-grown being. To be very frank, that may not really hit you hard, right? But it hits me hard, right? When it comes to rolling the dice. So again, for you to transmit your energy, start whenever you feel that urge, right? Start doing things that are more creative. And this is. I'll make a video on why you relapse again, though, or why men keep relapsing whenever they want to break this cycle of lust. You see, whenever you just stop the activity, there's a problem. Because the activity is still there. But instead, you need to channel that urge, that sexual desire to something productive. If you don't do that, then you're wasting your time. Truth be told, you are wasting your time. And if you want to have like a permanent change, now that you're building something, it could be, now that you're doing something productive, it could be creating content, it could be running a business. You see, let's be honest, right? It's easier for you to fall into lust when you have so much time around you. It's easier for you to fall into lust when you're not trying to achieve anything. You don't have any goal your mind is working towards. It's easy for you to fall into lust. And the most important thing here is your identity. Now, seriously, your identity is the reason you do things and the reason you don't do things. Now, there's a story I'd like to give. A typical example I'll give to you, right? Last week, Saturday, funny enough, I was in my place and my guy was like, we're all going out to go and eat. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves at a rave party, right? And I was the one driving, so I figured that, okay, I'm driving. I didn't even plan for this rave. Now, my guy is like, oh, that's true. Stone, you never smoke at all. I'm like, nah, it's not my thing. Now, mind you, that was enough. I didn't have to explain to them why I don't smoke. Now, there's a guy who we met. I think we met him at another rave, but he happened to be there at the same time. And he's like, oh, he has never done it before, but he's open to it. But I could see that this guy has been going to rave for months. Why is it now all of a sudden he wants to do it? That's because to him, his identity was not somebody that does not smoke. To me, my identity is someone who does not do it. What that means is, if there's something, for example, now is smoking, my identity does not smoke, my identity does not lust, my identity is discipline. Especially if you pick an identity that gives you discipline over dopamine, better for you. So, but you have to craft your identity. So that means it's because we do things based on how we see ourselves. Now, if I'm somebody who was open to the idea of smoking, obviously my guy smokes, so I don't see it as a bad thing. It's what you do when you smoke that's a problem. So the things you do them based on your identity. So it's very important you know the identity that you currently have, right? Again, identity is not like one block, oh, I'm a soldier. No. Your identity is the ideas from your subconscious mind, is the attitude in your subconscious mind. So fix your identity, craft one that chooses discipline over dopamine, right? And when you become disciplined, what happens is you will not see yourself mindlessly scrolling. Because all this, again, all of your bad habits are all intertwined though. So what that means is, when you have one bad habit leads to another bad habit. For example, now is mindlessly scrolling leads to you lusting, right? Excess alcohol also leads to you maybe lusting, makes you stressed. So you are stressed. So you have one bad habit that makes you stressed. You go to another bad habit 2, then bad habit 3. This is why whenever I'm talking to my guys, right, I tell them to start fixing your bad habits by compounding. I'm not sure I can say this because of the lights. By compounding good habits. What that means is that if you're trying to stop lusting, right, what you should do is this. When you cut off all this environment, you are desexualizing your brain, right? For example, now is start having a goal, right? You're working towards a goal. Maybe you have this discipline going on in your life. Go for runs. Go to the gym. start journaling, start meditating, start being present. You see, the more habits, the more good habits you stack, the more it reinforces in your mind that you are a disciplined person, right? And the last and the most important thing here is, which can help, sorry, is be present. What that means is meditate, journal, do things that will boost your self-esteem, right? That will make you present in the moment. So whenever any of those sexual thoughts come up, bro, you're good, right? And trust me, meditation is a game changer when you're trying to deal with lust. My name is Ton Oreye. If any of the ideas that you heard in this video resonate with you, please share it with a fellow brother who you know is going through lust. Because like I said, lust makes you look weak and ugly as fuck, right? Because women will resent you. Again, lust, in essence, shows that you lack discipline, right? And it's a less masculine thing. So, alright, brother, I'll keep dropping videos about lust and how I can deal with it because, like I said, ever since this guy put me in his community, guys have been seeing results. Like I said, the simplest thing is this step to fix it and compounding good habits, which I will talk about later. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. And share this video with a fellow brother. And bye for now.